Hello, beautiful people. I'm Ayda. Welcome to Unconventional Counseling. It's so good to have you here. If you are part of the tribe and you've been here before, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to see you. And if you're brand new and you're wondering what this is about, welcome. We're gonna find out. I got a message for y'all. So, there is a full moon in Aquarius on August 11th or 12th, depending on your time zone. And this full moon is bringing in so much energy. It's transiting Saturn in Aquarius. So the full moon is going to be at 19 degrees and the Saturn in Aquarius is going to be at 22 degrees. They're just 3 degrees apart from each other. So with the full moon's entire transit through Aquarius, it's going to be passing over Saturn, who I like to call Daddy Saturn. So this is why I'm wearing my daddy cap. This is why I'm wearing a blush pink tracksuit, just to call in some softness, but also some firmness, because we got some things to talk about. So we recently had a conjunction in Taurus with the North Node, Mars, and Uranus, who's been hanging out in Taurus and is gonna be in Taurus for about 8 years. And Uranus and Taurus don't love each other. They don't. Uranus is actually really reminiscent of Aquarian energy. It loves to shake things up. It's a revolutionary. It wants to break shit. It wants to do things in a new way. And then we have Taurus, who wants to go all slow and steady, like, the tortoise and the hare, and win the race in their own way. These energies conflict, and these energies actually square one another. So we have a square going on between the Aquarius energy, the moon and Saturn, with the Taurus energy, the North Node, Mars, and Uranus. We're also having the Aquarian energy oppose the Leo energy. So it's happening real big, everything that we're feeling it in our whole bodies, we're seeing it in our lives, and then the Leo energy is also squaring this Taurus energy. So, the imagery that I have for you. You ready? Imagine a grandma, an elderly woman with a big ass pocketbook. And in this pocketbook, she picks up everything she thinks she's gonna need just in her day to day. And if not for her, for somebody else. So that means when she goes to the restaurant, she gets a ketchup packet and a wet wipe. When she goes to the restroom, she gets some of that good Kleenex and she puts it away for next time. Or if someone around her has a runny nose. She walks out the store and she finds change on the ground and she puts it in her pocketbook too. She is squirreling away resources for another time, whether for herself or for a community member that she will pass along her way and she will greet within her day. Now, one day, Granny has this sudden realization that what she has always desired, for the purposes of this example, is to be like an embroiderer. She wants to embroider scarves, she wants to embroider handkerchiefs, she wants to embroider people's names onto towels. This is her dream. She wants to create something so niche, but for the longest time she felt that she wouldn't make enough money, she wouldn't be able to sustain herself. It wasn't practical because of how creative it was and how niche it is. However, one day when she realizes, you know what? It's the time. It's really what I want to do. I'm not getting any younger. Here I go. She also realizes that all of the people that she thought she wouldn't have before, all the clientele, the possible clientele, they are going to be the people that she helped all along the way. They're the people she gave them Kleenexes to when their noses were running. They're the people that she gave some change to when she had a little bit for them to get on the bus. They're the people that she was supportive of and she freely gave to in all of these different iterations of circumstances of their need. And they are going to be the people, or at least some of the people, who are going to support her when she steps out in this new way, doing the thing that she wants to do. People love to support you when you've supported them before, and you've supported with your whole heart, and you've given with your whole heart. They love it. They love it when you're doing the next thing. The people who really appreciate and value you, and really appreciate and value what you're trying to create. They just will. They'll find you, they'll follow you, they'll be loyal to you, they'll provide for you, they'll support you, just the same ways that they feel that you have done so for them. All right. So with these squares going on, she has this sudden realization, right? That's Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus. It has to happen right now. North Node in Taurus is covering this energy of, you know what? Actually, I'm going to be provided for, because all that Aquarian energy I have given to my community time and time and time again. I've invested in my community and they're going to invest in me. And so for her to do this in a Leo way, she has to take that pocketbook and she has to dump all the contents on the ground, because she needs to find out, does she have scraps of fabric for this to begin this endeavor? Does she have needles, the sewing kit that she needs? Does she have spools of thread of different colors, different thickness, different textures, so that she can create the beta line, the very first line of, I don't know, Ernestine's embroidery? I was like, I don't know who she is, but this is the energy that I was picking up. This is the vision that Spirit gave to me. This is the metaphor that I channeled. And it's so gorgeous to me. This is what's happening within the collective around this energy. This is one of the possibilities, because Uranus and Taurus kind of does what the fuck they want. And if this is an energy that resonates with you, let's continue. So, practically, in the 3D, you may be feeling a lot of pressure financially right now. You may be feeling like you can't make ends meet. You may be wondering what's going on and why it feels so hard right now. And this is something that's also happening to me. You know, we're all a part of the collective, so we tend to experience things at a similar time or in similar ways, whether directly in our own pocketbook that's straining and struggling, or whether indirectly, you know, let's say we work with others, our coworkers or our clientele are starting to struggle in this way. And I'm so grateful that I remember that I'm part of the collective. I'm so grateful that I have the relationship that I do with Spirit, so that when these things come up and they manifest, it doesn't stay as, oh no, woe is me. So let me tell you my story. My story this week. I got stories for days, I got stories for days, I got stories for days. So this week, for the first time in 2 years of working for myself, as a healer, as a counselor, as a spiritualist, as a creative, the first time in 2 years, I didn't receive a paycheck. You heard that right, yeah. When it was time to pay the taxes, when it was time to pay the expenses, personal expenses and business expenses, there was no money left over. For the first time in 2 years. And the first place I went was to work. And I just kept repeating in my mind again and again, there's not enough? I don't understand. Why isn't there enough? What did I do? What can I do? Why isn't there enough? Just repeating again and again and again, overwhelmed within, stressed, real stressed inside. And again, I say that I'm so grateful for Spirit, and I'm so grateful for my relationship with Spirit, because they reminded me of my basics. They reminded me of my pocketbook full of goodies, things that I've been collecting over the years, self-care strategies. They reminded me that I could journal. So I sat and I was journaling, and I found out all the things that I was feeling and all the things that I was afraid of in terms of this new experience in my reality. They reminded me that I can take a spiritual bath and I can infuse it with all my intentions, and I can speak over it, that I'm allowing and I'm receiving so much abundance, and that I can release the fears that I have around there not being enough, because there's always been enough and there will be enough. I've had my needs provided for so many times over. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a person that could help. Even when there was like nothing, then there was a home to stay in. There was a couch to sleep on. There's always been something. There's always been something when I really didn't have nothing to put down, 2 cents to rub together. Not one fathom, as my Nigerian people would say. Spirit reminded me that I could listen to affirmations and abundance frequencies. So I've been listening to them. There's one playing right now. I'm just gonna keep listening to them because I know that my vibration around money and abundance and wealth and prosperity, it needs more support at this time. Spirit reminded me that moving my body is really helpful, especially when I'm feeling big feelings, because it makes it so that the energy can move through me and it's not just trapped within. They reminded me that I could talk about it. They reminded me that I could create things like this video that I'm sharing now and whatever else gets created from this experience that I've had. They reminded me of my meditation practice. And I sat in meditation and then they whispered to me ideas of services that I can offer within my business that I'm not already offering. There is always opportunity and possibility when we shift out of the way. This full super moon in Aquarius, transiting Saturn in Aquarius, squaring all this Taurus energy, all this stability energy, all this energy around our resources and how we create security for ourselves is begging the question. Do you trust yourself to create the abundance that you desire? Do you trust life to help you create the abundance that you require? Do you trust spirit to follow through on their promises of you having the abundant life that you've asked for? And if not, what's standing in the way? There have been so many fears that I've been discovering. Old shit too, generational shit. Stuff that doesn't even have my name on it. Stuff that I inherited. You know how you inherit trauma? Yeah, you inherit narratives too. Stuff that I've witnessed in terms of witnessing people have a really, really hard time and stuff just go bad and bad and bad and worse. All of that came up. And then I had to remember my life. I had to remember my heart. I had to remember my experiences of when I didn't have and somehow eventually was provided for in some way, usually surprised way. Usually one that didn't take as much from me. Capitalism is a system that is built on the forced labor, the forced slave labor of indigenous and black and brown folks. It breaks the bodies of those on the margins. And it always needs more. It is never satiated. At this time, we are being asked to check in with ourselves. Are we feeling like we're just perpetually participating in a system, in a way of thinking, in a way of moving that is creating more and more of the same types of scarcity that we've seen in the larger collective? Or are we ready to check in to what we are capable of creating because of how substantial and massive and beautiful our souls are, our minds are, our imaginations are, our drives, our motivations can be when we team up with spirit. So that's my story. I really believe that every single one of us is going to need to check in on our individual needs and our individual fears to be able to shift through this and create something new for ourselves. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, ancestors for our highest good, spirit animals, ascended masters, we thank you so much and we welcome you in at this time. Thank you for being present with us when we ask. Thank you for guiding us and supporting us and helping us when we ask for support. Thank you for providing clarity at all times that you do. Thank you for bringing in signs and symbols and synchronicities when we least expect, when we're ready for it, or basically when we're able to allow and receive it. Thank you for being consistent even when we fall off from connection with you. Help me to channel a clear, concise, and a powerfully healing message for those in the collective on their ascension journey, on their healing journey, for those in the collective who are feeling financially strapped and strained right now, for those who are wondering what all is going to shift for them in terms of their abundance, for those who are wondering how their self-expression could possibly connect to their financial prosperity and their sense of security and freedom. I know that you all are living in an abundant frequency, vibration. I know it. I know that in the expanse of the universe, there is more and more and more increase. There just always is. You help us to remember that the universe lives inside of us. Help us to know that we are in this world but not of it. That we're gonna get to create things that we've never even dreamed of before, or that we've dreamed of but we never thought possible. Help us to connect to the parts of us that reflect you. Help us to use those parts of us to tend to the parts of us that feel wounded and broken and fearful. And of course, we welcome your support and your reminders and your care as well. The highest praise to our guides, to our ancestors, to the divine alchemist, to Christ consciousness, to the Holy Spirit, to our angels and archangels. And the highest praise, of course, goes to love, kindness, community, stewardship of this earth. The highest praise goes to you all. The highest praise goes to us as well. We are all we are because of you. We are all we are because you exist. And you all get to express yourselves through us. Thank you for this beautiful connection that we get to have with you. Remind us of how exceptional and amazing and wonderful we are, and give us the humility to be able to be thankful to you, all of our guides, all of our ancestors, to be thankful to you, ascended masters, for going before us, and to also be thankful to ourselves for doing the hard work, for showing up when it was hard, for going deeper when we thought that there was nowhere else to go, and for believing in our dreams. So much gratitude to go around. I cannot thank y'all enough. And I also thank myself, and I also thank each and every viewer that is listening and watching right now. Ashe. Pisces. Yo, welcome to your reading. If you are a Pisces sun, Pisces rising, Pisces moon, Pisces Venus, Pisces North Node, you just like Pisces, you just like their energy. You got some a Chiron in there, some sort of asteroid. Maybe you have nothing in Pisces, but you're just drawn to this reading. Whatever the case, welcome in. Let's see what energies are coming in for you overall around this full moon in Aquarius. A fiery climax approaches. Okay, and nothing will come of this situation. Feels like contradictory answers. However, you're a Pisces, and duality expresses itself through you. So let's find out more. Spirit guides and guardian angels, please support us in having a very, very clear message. Something that speaks to the fiery climax approaching around Pisceans as it pertains to money, their relationship to prosperity, their relationship to wealth, their relationship to abundance, and their relationship to self. We have the 8 of Swords. So you may be feeling trapped, or you may be feeling empowered to get free. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Already I'm seeing a lot of your energy is in your head. We have the Queen of Cups, so of course it's also in your body. Oh, just making sure you're feeling. You know, sometimes an empath will feel so many things that they will go numb. So I'm glad to see a cup in your reading. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay. And we have the 4 of Cups. So I'm seeing the divine trying to give you a new emotional experience or promise of a new emotional experience, and you're just like, don't give me that. I don't want it. You see how much I'm struggling right now? Or you see how much I have been struggling? Do you see how tired I am of seeing this system recapitulate and have itself go over and over and over again, to see the Wheel of Fortune spin in the same ways for the same types of people, for the same types of people, and against the same types of people? Do you know how much suffering I'm seeing? I'm seeing you lecture spirit. You're feeling real apathetic, but you have enough energy to lecture at spirit. That's that fiery energy that I'm getting a sense of. And Spirit's saying, listen, Spirit's saying, nothing will come of this situation. Support us in getting more clarity around what you're speaking to, Spirit. You have the 3 of Sticks and the 8 of Baskets. So the energy that I was picking up was the 2 of Wands, and when I see the 2 of Wands, I actually think the energy of the 3 of Wands. They feel very connected to me when I interpret. I see opportunity beyond where you're at right now. And so you're lecturing Spirit, and Spirit's trying to tell you it doesn't have to happen like that the same way it has before. It doesn't have to be the same. Nothing will come of it. You think that this conspiracy in the world means that you won't be able to have what you need, or that therefore if you, it's so hard to connect to Piscean energy, because it takes my Cancer energy and we're just swimming, and I'm like, oh yeah, that piece, and I take a piece of something, and that piece, and I take another piece of a sentence, and I'm not giving complete thoughts. So let me ground. I'm seeing you in an energy where you're thinking and feeling a lot for other people, for what other people deserve to get, for what other people should be receiving, for what people on the margins are not receiving, for what people who are being oppressed are continuing to receive pain. You're seeing things in workplaces, you're seeing hierarchies and gaps widen, and it is breaking your heart, Piscean. It is breaking your heart. and you're looking at the universe and you're talking to the universe and you're talking to your guides and you're angry. And you're telling them that this isn't okay and it needs to stop. Because look at what's going to happen if this continues. It's just going to be more and more of the same. And I'm hearing the universe and your guides tell you it won't be like that. Trust us. Something different is happening. It may look like how it does right now on the 3D. It may get worse and worse in the 3D, but we're telling you, we got this. Trust us. And you're like, whether I trust you or not, my heart is broken. And this is impacting your relationship to money because there's a law of oneness, and I think of Pisceans when I think of this universal law. And so if you are feeling like there's injustice in the world and in your community, it's so much harder for you to fully and thoroughly and deeply enjoy what's going on in your life. Whether you are feeling abundant or whether you're not, it's just so much harder. It's so much harder. It feels like you're constantly grieving. So to grieve and then to experience joy, sometimes it feels like a disconnect. So you want to talk to your ancestors right now. Instead of you imagining some of the 3D things that you want in this lifetime, material goods for yourself, this is an incredible time to start talking to your ancestors. To ask them in meditation maybe, or through journaling and writing letters to them and then channeling them back. Because I know you can do it. I see it. I do. I know you can. Connect to your ancestors and ask them to give you clarity about what is occurring around you. Ask them to give you their eyes or their lenses so that even though your heart is broken, you can tend to it with a little bit more reassurance. Ask them to reassure you in ways that feel more tangible. Ask them to give you visions of glimpses of what the future could be like that, it doesn't look like now, it doesn't feel like now. Ask them to allow you to see opportunities and organizations and people that they just come into your vortex, into your energy. They just come through. They pass your path, the path that you're on, and you overhear conversations that they're having about how they're going to help the unhoused, or how they're going to help people who are experiencing domestic violence. You're just ask Spirit and your guides to give you signs that there is good in the world. That's what I'm seeing in terms of your relationship to abundance. That if the world is just going closer and closer to extinction, morally, emotionally, in terms of consideration of one another, why would I dream, is what I'm seeing you say. Why would I try to create in this reality? Why would I take this world on? I can feel all of it. It hurts my heart. Ask for visions and for people to pass through. All right, so we have your counterpart, Queen of Cups. We have the Father of Baskets. And what I'm seeing is ancestors coming in to respond to you that will be able to speak to you in the language that you'll receive it, in visions and in dreams, in signs, in sounds, in lyrics of music. That it may be happening so much slower and so much more painfully than you would personally like, but that you start to see and feel that the vibration is shifting in this paradigm. And then we have Judgment. Yeah, I see you taking the universe on. You're mad. You're mad for what this world is right now. You're mad. You have a right to be, especially with all that you're feeling and all that you're seeing and all that you're experiencing and all that you're witnessing other people experience. It's a lot to be Pisces. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I really do believe there's a reason that you were a Pisces. I really do believe. I feel like it's such an incredible honor, and it takes so much strength to be a Piscean, to be an empath, to be the type of person that you are in the world, where you're kind to people even when you don't want to be, even when you have reason to not be. You still help people, you still serve people, you still support people, even when people are unkind to you. Pause. Take a moment. Close your eyes, relax your body. Just breathe. Slowly. Deeply. Unfortunately, we can't always impact for the better or control or change how other people and how this society reflects parts of the collective conscious or unconscious. We can't always predict it, and we can't always control it. No matter how much light working, no matter how much kindness, there's still pain and suffering being created in this world by people. There still is. Unfortunately, it is heartbreaking. It is overwhelming. It is painful. It can cause one to weep or to not want to get out of bed for days. Whatever you choose, whatever you need, remember to breathe. Even when it feels like you are drowning in the ocean that is within you, Piscean, or around you. Take a deep breath, and remember, you have gills. So, we're going to pause our reading here. If you were drawn to another reading in this series, I will see you very soon. If not, thank you for letting me read for you. It was a very powerful message, and I'm just really grateful that I got to speak it and I got to share it with you. And I will see you in the future. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment below.